Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe podcast. Hopefully, you're having a great Thursday. We're one day closer to the weekend, and hopefully, a game for you in progress or coming up or whatever you want to call it. Ask the DM at theevildm.com. Thank you for those that have been emailing me topics and creatures and spells and things to go over that you're interested in hearing about while listening to my podcast or my YouTube channel. Head over to youtube.com/theevildm, where I've had a whole slew of things for AD&D 1E all week here on the channel, as AD&D week continues here. So it's kind of like Roll for Initiative is back, right? No, not really, but it's the closest thing you're going to get. Anyway, today, after suggestion, I saw it on my YouTube comments. It was from one of my viewers that said, after doing the bracers of brachiation, why not follow up on a creature that would be interesting, that's kind of in the trees situation, after talking about how you can be in the trees and hiding and probably doing a surprise attack. This creature came out as something probably pretty deadly for a mid-level party. I'd say around 4 or 5, around there. A Kech, or Kech. I'm not sure how it's exactly pronounced. It's in the Monster Manual too, on page 78. This is a number of appearing is 2 to 8. They have an armor class of 4. Their movement is 15 inches. Their hit dice is 5. Their damage, they get 3 attacks. So 1d4 plus 1, 1d4 plus 1, and a 1d6 probably is a bite. Now they surprise in a 5 and a 6. So there's a big chance these things could surprise, because their special defenses are camouflage. They have average intelligence, which is pretty good for these creatures that are kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like, I don't know, maybe a monkey-like type creature, but it's got camouflage in the fur and everything, and it's got a weird-looking mouth. I don't know. It has no psychic ability, and it's neutral evil, so it doesn't give a crap about what your feelings are. It's going to really bite you. Ketches are evil forest fiends whose chief goal in life seems to be to mislead, snare, and devour humans. They roam throughout the deep woodlands of all climes, from tropical to subarctic, so they could be hiding in the subarctic, which is interesting. There they dig pits, set snares, and rig deadfalls to catch unwary travelers. Worse still, several small bands will occasionally amalgamate in order to raid forest communities and carry off hapless victims to some faraway spot where the Ketches can feast undisturbed. It is also common for these creatures to imitate calls of distress to lure prey into trapped areas and ambush. Attack is by means of claw, rakes, and a bite. As Ketches are likely to surprise in a 5 and 6, they usually rush upon 1 or 2 selected victims, slay them, then carry them off like corpses. Carry them off the corpses. Their camouflage, collaboration, and skills in woodcraft make it 50% unlikely that their tracks can be followed. And they move with a 50% they move 50% chance of silence on them. So there's a 50% chance that you're not even going to hear them moving around. Ketches are green humanoids covered with leaf-like leathery skin. Their long arms and prehensile toe feet allow them to climb trees very rapidly, 60 feet per round, and swing through the upper branches as well. Their human-like faces have large fang-filled mouth and protruding jaws. So these creatures are not only scary, they are intelligent, they will hide, they will call upon you kind of like the chupacabras, or a skinwalker, as they would say in these day and ages, if they exist, actually. But some people say they do, some people say they don't. But they like to lure people who are outside on their own. This is like a horror creature waiting to happen for a movie. They'll ambush. So you guys are walking through the forest. Your party's walking through the forest. You're probably paying attention because you're ready for any creature, regardless, in the forest. And these things have a 5 and 6 chance to surprise you. So they're going to come jumping out of the trees, jumping out of these traps that they have in the ground, and they're going to get first attack on you because they got a surprise attack. chances are they're going to surprise you regardless. Logically, they're going to surprise you. They're just going to drop down and attack. And since they get surprised, they get a free round of attack on you. And just imagine that in their 3 attacks, they hit you. So what are they going to do? 5, 15, and so 21. They could do possibly 21 points of damage right off the bat. Now, if you're a mid-level party, 21 points of damage, depending, could really impact your health as far as if you're like a wizard or a magic user, or maybe even a rogue who has low hit points. You probably will get chomped really well, and you might even be dead. Who knows? Depending on what level you are exactly. 4th level characters probably. Let me see. 4th level if you're a wizard, D4. Yeah, wizard would probably could be killed easily if the creatures strike maximum. But I do like that they can be in any environment, and they will build. They will go and they will go hide. They'll lure people. I like the fact that they do raids. They'll go into a village and they'll steal and drag people away. What I would do is have them drag away some like children, bring them into the forest and have them screaming, and use the children as a trap. Or since they imitate and try to mimic, they could take the children away into the forest, and they can make like these voices like help and stuff like that, and lure the party or lure the villagers out there to get more to feast upon. So these things are not something to mess with. And I was just looking and I'm like, it just looks like an ape creature or something like that, or a monkey, whatever. But no, they're not. They're intelligent because they have average intelligence, when a lot of creatures have like nothing or very little intelligence. They know how to plan attacks. They know how to lure people. They know how to surprise. They build various things so you can fall into it. They will plan out a route where people will travel that are in one of those areas that are less traveled, and they will wait and jump upon you or your party when you least expect it. So a couple of these appearing 2 to 8. So if you get like 8 of them, you might be screwed if you have a small party and you're only like around 4th level. Yeah, I could see these definitely, and I think you can use them with a couple other creatures, but like right above it, there's another one, but we'll talk about that another time. But these creatures alone, their treasure type is B, so it's pretty average treasure because they're not going to really be in their lair. 30% chance in their lair. Generally, they're not going to be in a lair. And if you do find their lair, I don't think there's going to be much of anything in it. Even treasure type B might have something decent in it, but nothing that you really think. Tell me what you think about these creatures. Would you use them in your campaign? Have you used them in your campaign? Do you remember these creatures? Because they're pretty friggin' deadly. And I wish I remembered about these creatures, because a lot of the Monster Manual 2 I don't really use that often. It's beat up, but I've never really used some of these creatures in here that I could take advantage of. And this is one of these creatures you definitely could take advantage of and use for a party and to get a good jump on them. At least that's what I think. Tell me what you think in the comments below. On Spotify, there'll be an area for comments. You can comment there. You can also comment on YouTube as well. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe to the channels, like the videos, and head over to ko-fi.com/theevildm or ko-fi.com if you'd like to give a small donation to help the channel. Everything helps. Or you could join the YouTube channel or Spotify for about $1 to help support us. With that said, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you've enjoyed this AD&D week. More to come. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night. God bless. See you next time.